October is here and we are ready to be drinking pumpkin spiced everything. We are whipping up a batch of pumpkin spiced simple syrup because we basic and that's what we do. We drink pumpkin spiced everything. We're going to start by making our pumpkin spiced mix. First, we're going to be adding the main ingredient, a 1/4 cup of pureed pumpkin. Now, I don't want to discourage anybody. If you want to Betty Crocker the crap out of a pumpkin, go ahead, girl, do your thing. But honestly, this works just as good and it tastes just as pumpkin-y as if you were to carve up one of these babies. So I really recommend this Libby's pumpkin. It is 100% pumpkin. If you look at the ingredients, you see it's just pumpkin on there. 1/4 cup right here, easy peasy. So now we're going to be adding our spices. You can get the pumpkin pie spice already made and you would just add 1.5 tablespoons of this to your pumpkin, but we're gonna make it fresh. I have all the ingredients here and we are ready to roll. We're going to be adding 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. We have some ground ginger. We're going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon. Next, we're going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. We're going to be adding just 1/4 teaspoon of both allspice and ground clove. So now we're gonna mix up our spices and our pumpkin real good. I like to mix the spices into the pumpkin before I put it into the simple syrup. If you just kind of throw the spices directly into the simple syrup, it just kind of like floats around in there. So we're going to mix it up good into our pumpkin and it just mixes better. Trust me, it's better. And there you have it. Looks like pumpkin spiced Play-Doh. This is the look we're going for. So we're gonna set this aside and then we're gonna get our simple syrup started. Martha Stewart, who? So we're going to turn our stovetop onto medium-high heat. I'd say somewhere between medium-high heat. You don't want to burn your simple syrup, but we do want to get this ball rolling, so I'm going to turn on to medium-high. So simple syrup is always equal parts of water and sugar. So I have 1.5 cups of both water and light brown sugar. Continue to stir this while the sugar is dissolving. You want to make sure to dissolve all of the sugar. So I like to use a spoon to kind of scrape the bottom of the pot to see if there's any sugar still left there. You can see that there's no sugar in my spoon and it's just straight simple syrup here. And before I add our pumpkin spice puree, I'm going to mix in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're gonna let this continue to heat up till it comes to about a boil and then we're gonna bring it down to a simmer.
What's a simmer? A lot of us don't know what a simmer is, Sam.
For those of y'all who don't know what a simmer is, you just wanna see some movement in the water. You don't want it on a full boil, okay? You want a little bit of bubbles, not crazy hard punching bubbles, okay? That makes sense? So this is looking pretty good. And it is starting to bubble. So we're gonna turn this heat down a little bit to like medium low. And we're going to add in our pumpkin spice mix. Mix in the pumpkin real good and let it simmer for like 10 minutes. It smells like fall in here, y'all. So our 10 minutes is up, and now we're going to take another 10 minutes to let this cool down. Okay, now this last step is going to require a bit of patience. Straining this simple syrup is easy, but it takes a long time. So you're going to need a fine mesh strainer or a cheesecloth, which these are pretty cheap. You can find them at any grocery store or the dollar store. I actually got this at the dollar store. Yeah, I'm not too proud. I shop at the dollar store. You're also going to need a funnel because it's gonna get everywhere if you don't have a funnel. Let's get to straining. So we're gonna put our strainer on top of our funnel like so, and then we are going to pour some of this simple syrup through the strainer, just enough. Don't wanna overflow. It's not very fast. See what I'm saying? So once it slows down to a flow like this, Can y'all see that? What I do is I take whatever left over in here, I dump it back into the pot, and whatever is left is clogging up the strainer, and I'll just go ahead, rinse this out in the sink, get rid of it, and then do that again, and again, and again, until we go through this whole pot. All right, now I don't have a sink here, so I'll be right back. And there you have it, some fresh homemade pumpkin spice simple syrup.